second graders. My name is Mrs. Sullivan, and today you and I are going to learn about character traits. Character traits. What does that mean? Think about that. We're going to learn more about what is a character trait in just a second. But before we do that, let's talk about what are the goals for us for this lesson. And we actually have two goals for this lesson. Here's our first goal. I can identify and sort internal and external character traits. So we're going to learn about what is an internal and external character traits, and you will be able to sort some before we're done today. Now, our second goal for today is, it's kind of a fun one, I can generate a list of my internal and external character traits. So at the end of our lesson today, we're going to have some time to generate a list about ourselves. We'll talk more about that when we get there. But before we get there, let's just make sure we have a really clear idea of what is a character. Now you guys know, I know you know, that a character is who the story is about. So it's the people or the animals that are in the story. So when we talk about character traits, a trait is something that we know about someone or something. So there are two types of character traits, and we're going to talk about this one first. This is the word external. External. That is just a really smart word that means outside. Outside. So when we say we want to talk about a character's external character traits, we are talking about what are the outside physical traits. That just means what are the things that we can see on the outside about that character. So if I'm looking at my character here, this character's name is Brian. If I'm looking at Brian and I want to see what are some of his external character traits, I'm going to see that he has black hair. So one of his external character traits would be black hair. So I'm going to put that on our anchor chart under what we see. I want you to take a look and see what else do you think would be an external character trait of Brian? What do you notice about him on the outside? Did you think of something? Yes, good. One thing that I noticed about Brian as I was looking over him is that Brian looks like he has some big feet. So, big feet would be another external character trait. So one more time, the external character traits are the things that we see on the, did you say outside? Yes, things that we see on the outside. Now, if external means things on the outside, then can you make a prediction of what internal would be? If external is outside, then internal would be inside. Yes, internal character traits are the character traits that are on the inside. We can't see them on the outside. We learn the internal character traits by looking at what a character says or does or how they feel or the things that they think. So I have a sentence from a text about our character Brian. Our sentence says, Brian was really excited about his football game. Now, if I want to figure out what internal character trait I have found out in this sentence, I'm going to look for the word that is maybe about how Brian feels or what he thinks. What's a word that we see in this sentence that might be a character trait? If you said excited, you are exactly right. This sentence tells us how Brian is feeling. How is he feeling? He's feeling excited. So excited would be another internal character trait, and something about the way he thinks or feels. So we're going to put excited up here on our anchor chart. Now you can see on the internal side, we made the heart stand out. Why would we do that? Because internal character traits are all about the way that a character is feeling or what they're thinking. It's the things going on the inside. So we're going to sort through some character traits, and we're going to decide together whether those are external on the outside or whether those are internal on the inside. So let's try this very first one. This is a great word to describe Brian. This is the word handsome. Handsome. Now, I want you to ask yourself this question. Can you see if someone is handsome on the outside? Or is that a feeling or something that someone would think? That's right. If someone is handsome, we're going to be able to see it on the outside. So we're going to put the word handsome under the external character traits. Good job. Now here's our second one. Try this one. What about the word curious? Curious means someone who likes to ask lots of questions, and they want to know all about the things around them. If you're curious, do you think curious would be an external character trait, something we would see on the outside? Or do you think curious would be an internal character trait, something about the character's personality? Very good. Curious is an internal character trait. It tells us about someone's personality, the way they think or the way they feel. Guys, nice job. So now that brings us to our second goal for today, and that goal was, just a reminder, I can generate a list of my internal and external character traits. Now, just a quick little tip. If you need help remembering what internal means, remember the word in. Internal begins with the word in. And in will help us remember that it is inside. Okay? So let's start working on a list of character traits about ourselves, but let's see if we can think of 5 external character traits and 5 internal character traits. So I'm going to do mine first, and then you guys can get started on yours. If I'm thinking about my external character traits, that would be the things you can see on the outside. One of my external character traits is that I am very short. Okay, so on my external list, I'm going to write short. Can you see that I'm short on the outside? Yes, you can. All right, so now I'm going to think about internal character traits. This means, what am I like as a person? What's my personality like? How do I feel and what do I think about? I would say one of my internal character traits is that I am usually pretty cheerful. I'm typically a really happy person. So on internal, I'm going to write the word cheerful. Now, cheerful is not something that you can see on the outside, even though I may smile a lot. Cheerful is a word that describes my personality, who I am and what I'm like. Now it's your turn, guys. I want you to make a list of 5 external character traits and 5 internal character traits and share them with your teacher. Remember, external is the outside. Internal is the inside. You guys have been awesome today. Make your list, share it with your teacher, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, second grade.